Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. As we gather, we are reminded that throughout Canada, we are situated on Indigenous land, both ceded treaty land and unceded land. This land is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. As a country, we have a responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we live and work. So today I acknowledge the Mississaugas of the Credit, First Nation of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee, and neutral people whose traditional territory I'm broadcasting from today. So Secret Path Week is a national movement commemorating the legacies of Gord Downie and Chanie Wenjack. The Gord Downie and Chanie Wenjack Fund would like to inspire Canadian classrooms to use this week to answer Gord Downie's call to action and do something as we share knowledge and work towards meaningful reconciliation. So Secret Path Week is taking place this week. We have all kinds of connections with Indigenous artists, leaders, and scientists who are sharing their stories with classrooms across Canada throughout the week. So you can join in these events if you head to exploringbytheseat.com, and under special events, you will find the Secret Path events. You can sign up to join in a camera spot and interact. You can sign up to watch on YouTube or tune in after the events. We are loving the week so far and getting to meet all kinds of amazing students across the country, as well as Indigenous leaders, artists, and scientists. So right now, we are gonna spend some time with Theland Kicknosway. He is a member of the Wolf Clan of the Potawatami Cree Nation from Walpole Island in Southern Ontario. He is currently in high school, grade 12, in Ottawa, and enjoys offering his gifts of song, dance, and voice for all. He is a singer, a grass and hoop dancer, and helps in ceremonies in many places. In fact, in 2015, at just 12 years old, he led the incoming Prime Minister and Cabinet into the swearing-in ceremony with a drum song. So pretty darn cool. I'm going to bring Theland live into the event now. Theland, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, it's great to see you. The last time we connected was the very first ever Secret Path Week, where we did some virtual events. And it was a ton of fun to share your story with students across Canada. And I'm excited to be doing it again today.
So am I. Look forward to it.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you take over for a little bit. And then we're going to start to meet some of the classrooms, both the camera groups and the groups on YouTube. And just a reminder to those on YouTube, let us know where you're tuning in from, where your students are, and then, of course, use that space for some questions. So Theland, it's all yours for a little bit.
Chimigwech, thank you. So, buju ani tanse kwe wache sego. Nimki benoje kapisi samat napisis dijnakaz maingando dem kejwanong donjuba. So what I said was, good afternoon, hello, wherever you're watching from. My English name is Theland Kicknosway. I am Cree and Potawatomi from Walpole Island First Nation, Bkejwanong Territory. And my reserve is about 2.5 hours southwest of Toronto. I'm 17 years old. I'm in grade 12 at Maryville High School. And I'm a proud Indigenous youth growing up in the city. And I'm very, very grateful for everything that I've learned from my parents, from community members, and from my elders in this region. So before I begin, I want to acknowledge the land that I am on currently. I know we have people tuning in from around Turtle Island, from around Canada. And I want to say Chimigwech, and Chimigwech in my language means thank you. So big thank you to all of you for tuning in and for being here and spending a little bit of time with me and with Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. So I'm on the unceded, unsurrendered Algonquin territory. And as a Cree and Potawatomi youth, my parents always told me that we are guests on this land. So we always acknowledge the land that we are on. And so we are guests and very grateful to be living here today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with this thing right here. This is a native Indigenous style flute. I was gifted this flute a couple of years ago. And I've been, playing with the flute off and on for the past couple of years. But, with the pandemic going on, it's also offered that time to, reconnect with different things such as, touching and being back with the flute. So I'll play a quick flute song for each and every one of you beautiful people. Chimigach. Chimigach, thank you very much. So I'm gonna put this down to the side for a bit, and I'll talk for a little bit. So yeah, so I am Cree and Potawatomi. I was born in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I'm in my final year of high school, which is a pretty cool thing, pretty big thing. But before all of that, you know, for myself, my family, we were all. I was raised in the culture, so I was raised with different instruments like the flute, with with the drums, with having people in my own home who had long hair, who inspired me and motivated me to continue our traditions as Indigenous people. And so, there's different things that that we have as Indigenous people that we call our gifts. And so there's the different gifts to sing and to dance, and whatever your passions are, those are your gifts that you have. So for me, singing and dancing has always been with me. And when people ask me, how long have you been singing? How long have you been dancing? I tell them that I've been dancing and singing ever since I was born. And I say this because when our mothers are pregnant, when you feel those kicks, those are our first dance moves as children. Before we're even in the physical world, before we're even born, those kicks that you feel on your tummy, those are our first dance moves that we do. And then when we are born into this physical world, in those first couple of minutes, we sing our first song. And I say that because we have our first cry. So when we cry, that's our first song that we sing. And so as Indigenous people, as an Indigenous person, I carry those teachings with pride, knowing that I will pass on these traditions to the generations that will, come in the future. So with that, I'm also grateful to have the gifts of the drum and my voice to sing. And so I want to share a song with you as well. And this drum here is made from deer hide, and it was dyed to make this red color. If you see on the back here, this is how it's all tied together, all nice and neat. And as the border here, it's wood. I believe it's pine. And so this is how we make our drums. And we're taught that our drums are our mothers, because they offer that heartbeat, that heartbeat that we feel. So our mothers give us this heartbeat, this drum here. And so I will sing a song for you. So. So that style of song that I just sang, that style of song is called the round dance. And there's actually a dance that goes with that as well. When you're hearing the two beats there, that again, that's our heartbeat. And when when we're singing off the beat, and that's what keeps that vibration going, that good vibration of the drum in our voice as we work together with these different instruments and with the gifts that we were given. We were very grateful for that. So I was gifted this drum, I believe when I was about 12 years old. And I've had this drum ever since. So yes, thank you very much. So for me, as an Indigenous youth growing up in the city, I wasn't always, around culture per se with, different people at my school. I was one of the only Indigenous kids growing up at my at my school, and it was I would say it was pretty difficult to try and find other youth and kids in my own school to learn about indigenous ways and indigenous culture. So I definitely felt like there was some disconnect there for sure. But with the strength of my family, because they weren't able to have these opportunities as children, my parents weren't allowed. For me, it's a great deal for me because I'm carrying on these traditions with pride and in good spirit. So I'm going to show you a picture of me when I was a kid. So I don't know if you guys can see this. This is a picture of me when I was a kid. I believe I was about seven years old, and this picture here is a picture of me when I first started hoop dancing. So the hoop dance comes from the Hopi Nation down in Arizona, and the hoops are meant as a storytelling dance. So the hoop dancer's job is to weave the hoops together to create different symbols, different images that you might see in creation. So some people will see an eagle, or some people might see a hawk, or some people might see a crow. And that's the beauty of this dance, is that we all see things differently because we are given gifts through the different five senses that we have. And so we use our eyes to imagine what we might see when the hoop dancer weaves the hoops together. So I just wanted to show you guys this picture quickly because it shows, where I started from as a hoop dancer. I started hoop dancing when I was about 5 years old. So I'm 17 now. So that means I've been doing this dance for about 12 years. And this dance has brought me all over the world. I've had the pleasure and the privilege to dance all the way down in Mexico to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, and all around Turtle Island, all around Canada. I've had the privilege and the joy of dancing for hundreds of thousands of people. And with this gift of the dance, with the times that we're in, we also use our culture to learn about through different social media platforms. So for myself, back at the beginning of this year, I started a TikTok account. So many kids will know what TikTok is. Many people will know what TikTok is, and I've amassed over 250,000 followers on the TikTok app. And basically, what I do is I showcase my Indigenous spirituality and through the forms of dancing and singing on this app. So I've had different videos go viral. I've had one video reach up to 5 million views. And that video is me talking about the significance of hair and braids to Indigenous people. So I'm very grateful that people all around the world are able to see these videos, not just from myself, but other Indigenous creators to see, different things that are significant to us. So I'm very grateful that people were able to learn about that. But with the gift of the hoop dancing, I was also blessed to have these. And if you guys don't know what these are, this is what a hoop is. It's a circular shape, and I've been dancing with these hoops for the past 5 years, I'd say. And the special thing about these hoops are that they're not like regular hoops that you'll see. And actually, let me show you what I mean. This is what I'm talking about here. So these hoops are special because they glow in the dark. They are LED, glow in the dark with rainbow colors all the way around. And so when I'm dancing with these, they give off that beautiful reflection of the rainbow. And as a kid, I always told my mom, I asked my mom, I want to dance in the rainbow. And so when we seen these hoops, we knew we had to get them. And so I've had the joy of dancing with these hoops all around the world. And there's this thing that I say, everyone belongs in the circle, no matter where you're from, what color you are. We all belong in this circle. So that's what I believe this shows a lot of people. So this is just a little bit about this dance style and the hoops that I was given. So I'm very grateful for that as well. I'm just gonna get some light in here, guys. But yeah, so using different social media platforms, I've been able to showcase Indigenous culture to thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, millions of people all across the world, and we're all able to do it off of this thing that we have in our pocket, which is our phone. Every video that I make is off of this phone right here, and that's the power of technology nowadays. Is because of this pandemic that we are in, I can't actually go to your schools and see you guys physically, but with the power of technology and the internet, we're able to connect with each other still using Skype or different FaceTimes, different video chats and webinars just like this. So I'm very grateful for that as well, that we're still able to connect with each other through that as well. So I'm very grateful to have been asked to come here again, for the second year to share a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll close with another song, and I will explain one more thing afterwards. But I just want to say chimiwets to each and every one of you for being here. So going back to what social media has done for myself, and with the significance of these things here that I carry, I was taught that our hair, when we are braiding it, we're braiding it with good thoughts and with a good intention. And so when we're braiding our hair together, the three strands are body, mind, and spirit. And I don't let anybody outside of my family touch my hair, just because I don't know what their intentions might be. And as an Indigenous youth growing up in the city, it was very hard because I had many people, many people that were very encouraging, say, yes, we're very proud of you for growing your hair. But I've also had, sometimes I've had people who went out of their way to bully me because I had long hair. I was called a girl many times, and I was threatened with people telling me that, you shouldn't have long hair. You don't belong. And so for myself, I know many kids, many people still feel that today, which is unfortunate. So I use my social media platforms to make sure that their voices are heard, to also tell them that it's okay. You're not the only one. We're all in this together. And so when I see other boys, other men, other people, who have hair with braids, they're wearing them with pride, I always say, Chimi Wetch for your hard work. Thank you very much. Because even carrying these and showing these, it's showing people that even generations ago, my family's history, their hair was cut in residential schools. And so I definitely carry these with a lot of pride, knowing that I carry the generations of stories through my hair. So that's how I feel when I walk in my schools, or when I walk at the mall, or if I'm just walking down the street. I feel very, very good inside, knowing that I'm doing something right for myself, for my family, and my community. And so I try to pass on those good teachings to people all around the world. So I will finish with a song, and I will say Chimi Gwech to It's Blowing by the Seat of Your Pants for inviting me once again to share a little bit. So Chimi Gwech. Thank you very much. So yeah, I believe we're going to do Q&A or some sort of that. So.
Yeah, absolutely, Theland. Thank you so much. Well, really for everything today, sharing those stories with us, showing us a few things, some beautiful songs with the drums, and congratulations on your TikTok success. That's pretty exciting. 5 million people taking something in. That's an amazing reach. So, and a huge shout out to you and your courage and believing in what you want to, and wearing the hair the way that you do. It's an incredible what's the word I'm looking for? Just a shout out to the legacies of so many that came before you. So thank you so much for everything that you do and sharing it with so many people on such a big stage. All right. Well, let's meet some groups. We have tons of classrooms tuning in via YouTube, so feel free to send some questions in there. In fact, I'm going to do a few shout outs here. I won't get everybody because there were so many who said, hey, but we've got Mrs. D's class joining us in Toronto. We've got a grade 7 class from Ms. Patterson in Milton. Chatham, Ontario, we've got Queen Elizabeth II Public School joining us. Grade 6 class with Ms. Duncan in Ottawa, so maybe not too far from you, Theland. Vanderwall 7 and 8 in Milton. Lots of Milton classes joining us. Let's see. Miss Stanton is joining us. Her grade 6s. Mississauga, St. Catharines. It just goes on and on. Toronto classrooms. Looks like we've got some Alberta, British Columbia. So good stuff. Great to have so many live classrooms joining us. And let's get some of those questions coming in as well. Oh, here's one right away. Miss Elliott wants to know, how can students find you on TikTok? What's your handle?
Okay, so my handle is actually, it's my first name. It's Theland, but actually you put a underscore in between the and land. So the_land is my username on TikTok, and on Instagram, it's the same thing. You just add a K to the end of it.
Okay, if I got that right there, the_land.
That is perfect.
Beautiful. All right, so definitely, I think you'll have some more students following along. That's great. Good stuff. All right, well, let's meet a live classroom. Let's start grabbing some questions. So we're going to go to Mrs. Little's group. They are joining us in Dutton, Ontario. Let me bring them into the call. How are we doing, everyone?
Hi, we are well, thank you. Hi. One of our questions is, do you ever compose your own songs, or are all of the songs that you play passed down through the generations?
That's a great question to ask, actually. So the songs that you heard today are songs that have been made prior from different song makers in our community. And actually, that final song that I sang is a song that I made personally, and I made that a couple of months ago. And all the songs have stories to tell, and if I had more time, I would definitely tell the significance of each song. But to keep it simple, there's definitely songs for different points and different times that we'll need in our lives. So there's definitely opening and closing songs, and then there's also songs that are significant for certain times. So yeah, songs have been passed down for generations, but I'm very happy to know these songs and to also make them as well as I continue my journey. So thank you. Oh, Joe, you're on mute.
There we go. So Miss Vonderwall's class is tuning in, and that what you shared really resonated with them about having times where you were bullied, kind of growing up. So what was your response? How did you deal with those situations?
Yeah, so I'm very grateful for my family's strength because, there were certain times when we would go off to a, like a volleyball tournament, and unfortunately, I was bullied there. There was they cornered me by the water fountain, and they told me, why is a girl at this tournament? They threatening to cut my hair off, and when different issues and problems and different moments like that arise. I'm very grateful for my friends who were there as well, who helped me and supported me through that time. And so it wasn't just an experience; it was also a life lesson that because I show my hair very proudly with courage and bravery in the communities, as I know many people do. There's still going to be people that will try and stop you, but just for me, knowing that. My story is to share with others that we're here for a reason. We all have a purpose in life, and when you're ever in those difficult situations, know that be true to yourself and keep on going with who you are. And so I'm very grateful for my friends who stepped in there and de-escalated that situation as well. And after that, we also did have a meeting with both the schools, and we all came on good terms, and we had a nice volleyball game at the end. So it all worked itself out.
All right, that's great to hear, and it's can't stress enough the importance of a good support group and friends, because they can really carry you through a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's visit another camera classroom here. We're going to go to Mr. Ian's class is tuning in with us. They are fifth graders in Barry's Bay, Ontario. So in a virtual classroom, I'm going to bring Mr. Ian in. How you doing? Oh, can you grab the mute for me, Mr.? Yeah, there we go.
Good afternoon. Thanks so much for sharing everything you shared today and everything you're sharing online. Our students have really enjoyed getting to learn about you and learning more about Indigenous culture. We've been learning about the brain and a bit about mindfulness. And when we get into stressful situations, when our amygdala kicks in and kicks into that stress response. And so some of the things that you were talking about, performing in front of thousands of people, some really big events, we're curious, what are some stressful situations that you've been in, and how have you helped yourself go through that situation so that you just don't get stage fright and unable to perform in some of those potentially stressful situations?
Yeah, so for me, I've definitely been in some very stressful situations whenever I'm performing, whether that's live performances or if it's online. So there's been a couple of times where I have had a lot of anxious times before I go on to perform. And so before I did the Prime Minister's swearing in when I was 12 years old at Rideau Hall here in Ottawa, it was definitely very stressful for myself because there was a lot of security people telling me where to go, where to be, and it was definitely it was kind of confusing as well. But I'm very glad we all made it work. But when I'm in those situations, I'm very grateful I have my mother there as support. And as Indigenous peoples, we have these different medicines that we pray to. And so there's this medicine called sage. And with that sage, we light the sage, and it creates this very soft, warm, and welcoming aroma. And I was always raised around those smells, and those smells often, they bring me peace. So having different people as your support really can help you when you're stressed, or having something to remember, like something you can hold on, or something that you can smell, like the sage, that definitely help you and bring you peace in those stressful times. Another stressful situation I've been in was definitely my first time performing at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto at We Day 2017, I believe, or 2018. And I danced in front of 20,000 kids, youth, and teachers. And it was very noisy, and it was really stressful for myself. But you know, I'm thankful that there's people there by my side who are there to help. So definitely, I encourage make sure that you have people who are there to help you and support you whenever you are feeling and that you are in a stressful situation. And just remember to breathe. Remember that to take that time for yourself. And you know, we all need those certain times for ourselves when we need to look after like what situation we are in. You know, just be present, be in the moment, take a breath and step back if you need to. So that would be my advice, and thank you.
Okay, great advice. Mrs. Sang Tam's class is joining us, a grade 4 class, and first of all, we're really impressed by the talents that you shared with us today. And they're really curious about some of the other places you've traveled to perform.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, I've had the privilege of going down to Mexico, to different villages around to share, you know, not only the hoop dancing and the singing, but also as a learning experience for myself, to learn from the different people in those villages as well, and to see how similar our traditions are, and how our Indigenous spirituality is alike. So yeah, I also said I've been to Geneva, Switzerland, to speak as a human rights of the children ambassador at the UN, and I've had the privilege and the grateful opportunity to dance all around Canada. And one of the most memorable places that I've been is definitely I went to Vancouver last year for Wee Day, and that whole Wee Day tour. I was able to be one of the dancers on the Wee Day tour, and as the opener for the whole entire show. So, you know, to have traveled to those different places from the Maritimes all the way to, you know, from coast to coast, and to share with, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, I'm truly blessed to you know, carry these gifts in a good way, hoping that others will be motivated to learn more and to further educate themselves about, you know, different things that mean a lot to us as Indigenous people. So thank you for your question.
Okay, we're going to visit another classroom now. We are going to go to Mrs. Burns' group. They're joining us in Milton, Ontario. Looks like some grade 7 and 8 students in a virtual classroom. So let's bring Miss Byrne in. There we go.
Hi, Theland. I actually follow you on TikTok, so I'm fangirling a little bit. One of our students, James, says that because he's Italian, they show love with food. And he's wondering how you and your family show love.
So thank you, James, for your question, and Ms. Byrne. I appreciate you know, that you're following my journey. It means a lot to me. But you know, we all have our way of showing love. I love food a lot, so you know, James and I are really connecting on that level where, you know, we love food, as I'm sure a lot of people love food as well. I actually have food downstairs waiting that I can eat afterwards. But the way we show love is definitely through you know, through different ways, through different songs and different things of the gifts that we're given. So, you know, even just giving someone a hug shows that, you know, that you're there for them. And you know, there's different songs that we sing that are made to you know, have those different tunes that even offer us that different love and that sort that we give. So definitely, food's a big one for us as well, but also using the different gifts that we're given to express and show our feelings as well through that. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for the question. We're going to go to Mrs. Ayers' group. They are joining us in Toronto, Ontario. Let's see if we can bring them into the call. It's actually 2 classrooms getting together today, so let's bring them in.
That's right.
How are we doing, Toronto?
Hi, we're going to say Anin and Miigwet. Anin, Miigwet. Anin and Miigwet, Theland and Joe. We have a question from our class, and it is, what does your regalia mean? So we've watched your videos on CBC and seen that you were wonderful beaded regalia, and we're wondering what it means.
Yeah, so I really appreciate the question. So as a dancer myself, growing up with the traditions and carrying on my culture in a good way, I'm also a dancer, and so there's many different dance styles that we partake in. There's dance styles that are made specifically for men, for women, and then there's gender neutral ones where even you can do both. But for myself, with the regalias that I have, all the regalias are either passed down from the generations before, or we are involved in trades with other families and other community members to get our regalia pieces. So the outfits that you see are all made from my family, whether we put our own blood, sweat, and tears into the outfit, or we made a trade to get the outfits that we have here today. And these outfits and these traditional regalias that we carry, we don't wear them like costumes. So many people call them costumes, but they're actually regalia, because costumes are what you wear in actually a couple weeks. That's what Halloween. That's when you wear your costumes. But we do not wear these as costumes. We wear them as regalia, and we have different meanings for why we wear our regalia. So it's not to dress up to look, like you're trying to dress up like Frankenstein or other things. They all have a symbolism for why we wear our regalias, and they're all made from my family members, and I wear them at specific times when either I'm asked or whenever I'm doing a performance. So I definitely appreciate your question.
Okay, thank you for that question from our classes in Toronto. Let's take another one here from YouTube. So Mrs. Smith is wondering about, the traditions and values that were passed down to you in your youth. Who was responsible for passing some of those down to you?
So I've gotten this question a couple of times, and it's always an interesting thing to be asked and then to answer as well. So the different gifts, like the singing and the dancing and the drumming, a lot of those are stuff that you see as a child or whenever you want to learn. So I see most of these stuff growing up, either we travel to powwows or different other cultural gatherings. And at these gatherings, you'll definitely see many people who may inspire you to start dancing, or, I really like their regalia, or different other things like this. But for myself, using the drum and learning different songs, I've also had to ask many people, different techniques and tricks of how do you do this like that? How do you do that? And it's always, making sure that you're asking questions, because, we won't learn unless we ask questions. So I've definitely had to ask a lot of questions to many people around Turtle Island in the powwow trail, and actually a big help is also YouTube, using the different social media and internet out there. I've learned a lot of songs on YouTube as well, whether that's by listening through ear or looking at different comments and seeing the lyrics, or just even trying to listen to it and try and sing the same song. So definitely YouTube has helped to learn as well. So make sure that you're typing in whatever you want to learn, and there's a lot of things that will educate you out there as well.
Okay. We have a classroom that's joining us, but their microphone's not cooperating. So they sent me a question via the chat. So we want to give a shout out to Mrs. Hinnigan's class. They're 5th graders in Mississauga, Ontario. So great to have them joining us today. And the question they sent in is that in the classroom, they've been talking about rights and freedoms, along with Orange Shirt Day, and how everyone's rights and freedoms aren't always respected in Canada. So one of the students was wondering if, you shared some stories where you encountered some discrimination growing up, and they're wondering if maybe you've noticed, are things getting better? Are things about staying the same? What have you noticed in the last few years?
So yeah, definitely growing up in my own community, I've experienced different forms of racism and discrimination against, myself wearing my braids, or or even just by the color of my skin. And that's what I tell people is that, you know, each and every day that we wake up, you know, we always give thanks for everything that we have, for the roof above our heads, for the sun that shines down, or for the rain that will water everything around us. But you know, there are a lot of issues and epidemics that are still happening throughout Canada before we were even born, and that I know will continue after we pass in this world. That I hope I can make a difference or make a change to, you know, we can do that today and tomorrow. And these different epidemics include, you know, missing and murdered Indigenous women, you know, girls and two-spirited people, you know, people who don't have clean drinking water on reserves, you know, the pipelines that are going through our communities. Even right now, we have the Mi'kmaq, the fishery happening on the East Coast. And so, you know, there's different problems and issues that arise every single day. And, you know, we always have to be grateful for what we have, but also to try and support others who are at the front lines and who are, you know, putting, you know, their body on the line and who are helping with their spirit. So, you know, there's definitely a lot of things that that Canada and that we as individuals can do to better our community, that we can make a change. And so, you know, I definitely encourage, you know, go read as much as you can about different issues and different epidemics that are happening in Canada, and seeing how you can help. And one way that, you know, that I'm helping is for others to learn. If you go to my Instagram, I have a link tree that you can go check out, and you'll see a bunch of different links to different issues that are happening, you know, around Indigenous people in Canada today. So definitely go check out my my link tree on Instagram, and you'll be able to learn more and further educate yourself about the different issues happening right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Theland. And you know, you're right. There is a lot of work to be done, and a lot more things that need to be brought to the light. You know, two things that I'm really going to take away from today. I loved the beginning, how you described, you know, you've been dancing and singing since the day you were born, whether it was pushing, you know, in the uterus, or when you came out and made your first cry. I think that is such a beautiful way to describe it. And, you know, I think your solution, your path of, you know, when something frustrating happens, or maybe you do face discrimination, of choosing to educate instead, choosing to educate, choosing to share. I think that's really important. And so, you know, I'm not surprised at all that you're gathering a huge following, you know, to hear what you have to say and to share what you have to share. So Theland, huge thank you for joining us today.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Chimiwach and Bamapi. Take care.
All right. Well, shout out to our YouTube classrooms. Thank you for your amazing questions. Thank you so much to all of the classrooms that joined us via YouTube and sending us in those great questions, our camera classrooms as well, and lots more events to come. So we hope to see you checking out some more events. And again, thank you so much, Theland, and everyone. We are going to sign off for today. Thanks so much, everyone.